Alright, here's what we want to learn. It's going to sound like this when we're done. Okay, here we go. Part 1. So we're going to go from a C to a G to an A minor, but we're going to add a C on that A minor, which is the 3rd fret 1st string. And I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Then back to G, and then D minor. Now D minor is easy to think of as almost like an F with one finger added, so it's really an F with this added right here, which is the 3rd string 2nd fret. So all tucked up in there. And after the D minor, we go back to G. And then finally, we're going to end up with the A minor with the added C note at the top. Again. And once again, I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. It's going to sound something like this. Now notice that to begin it, or you can consider it the ending if you want to, you actually play a G, and then you start. For example, I close my eyes, or now don't hang on for that verse. C, G, A minor, add. And let me show you to add that. What we're going to do is, if I just played A minor normally, it would sound like that. But as soon as you pluck the top and bottom strings to get started, immediately, and it can happen any time after that, put that C down, which is once again the 3rd fret 1st string down here, and it'll go from sounding like this to sounding like this. Off, on, off, on. You can add that finger anytime you want to. A little slower. So I'm just going to call it out as we go, starting with that quick G, and I'm just going to play all 3 strings, 1, 2, and 3 as I hold that G, and then I'm going to start. So G, C, G, A minor, add, G, D minor, back to A minor, add, G. Alright, let's do it from the beginning, starting with that brief G. Notice I didn't go back to that quick G there, because that will lead us right to the chorus, which will be part 2. Part 2, the chorus. Here are the chords we're going to play in general. So I'm going to go from D to G to A minor with a C to just C, and then back to D, and then G again, and then A minor with the add. Let's try that slowly. And now G. And that begins the next verse. So you end up, when you do that last part, it'll be Let's do that again. Let's practice going from part 1 to part 2. I'm going to start with the end of part 1 and go straight to part 2. So we're going to do the A minor at the end of part 1 to the D. Once again, let's do that again. Here's the end of part 1, beginning of part 2. Good. Okay, here it is all the way through.